Hey there, welcome back to our Elden Ring lore playthrough. Our last one, we started taking our first steps into Caelid, where we found out some interesting things about the fate of Ranni, Redmane Castle, General Radahn, the stars, the Scarlet Rot, flames, right? But I realized here as I was upgrading things, we hadn't checked back in with Rajir after we went and, pledged ourselves to Ranni in order to get the curse mark for Rajir. We didn't let him know we succeeded there, so we're going to talk to him real quick.
Good to see you, son.
Talk.
Maybe I should tell you. Lately, I feel I'm on the precipice of falling into a deep, fathomless slumber. And I have an inkling it could spell trouble for you somehow. So I just wanted to get the apology out of the way beforehand, since you're so scary.
Which is concerning. I'm worried about that because he is afflicted with death blight, and just falling asleep into some fathomless slumber sounds not good for him. Look at all these tabards and stuff down here. There's a ton of bloodstains. We have not jumped down there. We can totally jump down there. So we're going to do that now because we can. And we're looking at it and we're thinking about it. It's interesting tabards. I can't really tell. There's some, golden lineage signs, hence the beast picture, right? Fancy thing. It said Alberich. Mad Tongue Alberich. Okay. We are using the Flame Birch because I like it a lot. I'm a fan. Oops. See ya. Taunter's Tongue. Mad Tongue Alberich. Most of the other ones we see Recusant, we see Bloody Finger, we saw the Festering Eye Vike. His made sense was the Festering Eye because he, the eyes have stuff to do with the madness as far as like becoming Shibuya grapes and stuff. The Bloody Fingers has something to do with the Lord of Blood. Excuse me, the Recusants, I'm not really sure. And then Mad Tongue, what does he drop? A Taunter's Tongue. Lures in invaders, it's a multiplayer thing. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I guess it doesn't tell us anything else. But we look over here. I mean, it's like arms warriors. It's a great hall over there too, really. But what do we find is a body. It's kind of charred looking for some reason. This would have been like, I guess, a barracks. Cipher Pata. One of the weapons originating from the two fingers, a formless sequence of ciphers comprise its blade, and as such no shield can repel it, deals holy damage. The furtive inscription appears to hang in the air, the language of the light spoken by the two fingers. So it's it's the ciphers we see on all kinds of things that we see around the warming stones, on some of the light fragments. We see it on the different various whetstones. Like, it's the language of the two fingers because they just kind of wiggle in the air, and that's like the script they kind of make in the air, and that's why you have the finger readers so that they can interpret those movements and tell us what it means. It's a pretty cool weapon. It's nice. Now, I wanted to kind of throw in an interesting thing. You've got General Radahn, the son of Rennala, the Queen of the Full Moon, head of the Carian Academy. He does gravity magic. Here we have a beast, a lion maybe, right? And that is a symbol of the golden lineage. Now, when we are dealing with the Redmane soldiers and the Redmane knights, what symbol do they have on their camps and on their armor, their tabards? It's the same thing here, only it has a sword. There's a slight differentiation between it, but it is still ultimately like a golden lineage thing, which is weird because he's not of the golden lineage. He's from Lord Radagon and Rennala. Now, Radagon did come from the Order of the Erdtree, which has those ties in with the golden lineage, but it's interesting that he is, seems to be tied in so tightly with them. Now, this goes to our next thing. The Carian royal family's fate is tied with the stars. He is part of the Carian royal family. So why did he arrest the stars? Why did he stop them from moving? Because that seals the fate of his whole family, right? Like, they can't progress because he's halted their movements. So why did he do that? Was it just a side effect of him having to do something with these falling stars or something, right? Right. It says confronted the falling stars alone. So, was him sealing the stars simply a side effect of him confronting these falling stars? Did he just simply march out there to defeat them? And then because he completely stopped them, it stopped everything else? Or was it done under the order of somebody else? And who else could it be if he has some kind of he's got this symbology that lies with the golden lineage? Maybe he did it for, the Golden Order, the Order of the Erd Tree, America, Godfrey, somebody, right? Questions. All right, but what do we want? We want that Erd Tree, not Erd Tree, we want the Dectus Medallion. Now, there is another thing to go here. I kind of want to hit this spot here because there's some interesting stuff we can go there. We saw it had, a carts that looked like they were going down into Fort Gael. And so we want to do that. We got to go somewhere out here to the east. So this is way far southeast. So somewhere maybe up in here, it was just a big swath of land. There's a map right there. We got to get that Dectus Medallion. But let's go check out that mine and maybe go from there. Here we are, moving in. What's it going to be called? Gael Tunnel. No surprise, honestly, given its proximity to, Fort Gael. Got some soldiers here. Big smash. See ya. Oh, this is like a hard drop down. There's no ladders. There's no coming back up, so we're committing. So far, just some soldiers, some miners. But look, there's a land octopus, and these guys were like crouched and like playing it kind of safe. They were like, I don't know what the word is. Anticipating, keeping watch, preparing to attack. I mean, it's just one little land octopus, right? So that shouldn't be scary. But if we push it in, what are we gonna find? Water dripping down. Where are we? Interesting. Maybe there was some leak there or something. Yeah, look at that. Up there. There it is. Hello, mommy. Alright. See ya. And we got ourselves a cross Naginata. It's a very cool weapon. It's got such a cool looking moveset. And I wish, when you see people use it, it wasn't just dual wielding. Because the weapon on its own it's so stylish. It's so cool. I really like it. It consists of a three-pronged blade affixed to a long pole. The long central blade closely resembles a katana, a weapon of the land of reeds, known for its ability to be wielded as a spear while still being capable of performing slashing attacks. And we know the lands of reeds has to do with essentially like Asian or Japanese aesthetics with like the katana. There's honestly not a lot that's actually interesting in this place. It's pretty straightforward. But there we get to the end here. That looks like that's like the door we opened to get bosses. This is a small one. Now we notice there was no site of grace on the way over here. So instead we got this door, and then we've got a site of grace. And nothing else. And it actually opens up way over here. Now, I'll be honest, I wanted to get to this one earlier because there's some other interactions you can get here. And I've never, this lines up right here. I always miss it because you can get here super early. And normally what you would find in here is Iron Fist Alexander. Why do you find him here? Because the last time we found him was over along in here. No, up here. And he's going east to do the Festival of War, which is way, way over there. So, of course, we encounter him. You would find here at the rear Gael Tunnel entrance. So he finds himself here, and he's stuck. And so, yeah. I wanted to do that first. I wanted to show that. Yeah, but, of course, I, didn't do the sequence correctly. So, it is what it is. I don't think you really get anything super amazing from the conversation. There is a little bit of something, but, we'll be okay without it. But we've got a boss fight. It's a magma worm. All right. See, he's got these, like, pretty torn up looking wings. He is holding a sword, which is different, right? When you would think of, like, I guess a worm, like a dragon, right? They're not going to use a sword because that's, like, not what they do. But look how different he is compared to some of these other dragons we've seen, where they are very draconic looking. This dude is like a belly-crawling lizard. But he is spitting magma, which is also interesting because it's not fire, per se. It's liquid burning magma, right? So, you know, there are some very key differences there. He does look like there's some like hairs on the sword. The sword looks scaled and rocky too. Move back a little bit. I mean, he's got like straight hands. He's definitely not flying with those wings, right? You know what it kind of reminds me of is the Dragonkin soldier, because like that dude is not flying. He had like busted looking wings. You know, when the one goes like kind of second phase, he does do some big kind of gliding things, but he doesn't actually like fly. He's not truly flying around. He does a quick float up into the air and he glides down and does a slam. And I mean, this dude is definitely bound to the ground. Boom. Down he goes. Gives us a dragon heart. We also get Moonveil. Now, I've mentioned before, and now we get a good point to see it. This is a big meteor, and it's gold. Look at how it's all infused with that gold. So like I mentioned before, it's a Ruin's greatsword having those veins of gold, and how they're, you know, and the smithing stones all ultimately seem to have big ties with like gold and stuff. What else has ties with gold? The Erd Tree, Grace, you know, I don't know. So like it all kind of comes from meteors and stars. Like in a way, a lot of it all seems to originate from these like, you know, celestial bodies. All right, so here we are. We're gonna go from outside of Fort Gael, and we're gonna skirt around here because we can see there's some ruins here. There's not really a good, well, actually, no, maybe we will go from here. We're gonna run through Caelid ruins, go up here because there's a finger reader crone. We'll do that. Also, this is going to be like the third video in a row that's like long again. The videos are going long again because this is taking me a while to get through it. Like I knew it was, but with DLC is going to be out in like a month, dude. And I still have, there's still so much to do. Still so much to do. So they're going to have to be longer to get through the whole thing, right? There's a bunch of forts. Yeah, maybe those are forts. I thought maybe one of those was like a divine tower or something, because we know there's one somewhere over there. The low poly's not helping me at all. That's something way over there. That sinks way down in the middle. Campfire. That's a building. We also know there's a Cathedral of Dragon Communion in here, because that's what we learned from at the other Church of Dragon Communion when we couldn't get a new dragon power. What do you have to say?
You, please, you.
Yes, my fingers.
Are you one for festivals or flowers? To the south, a grand festival to make the stars turn.
Okay, we know about that. Yep.
To the east, the hardened bud of a flower to be. But dare you enter into the heart of the scarlet rot?
Huh. Okay, we're gonna take off the unicorn horn. It's starting to hurt my neck. Okay, so she gives us two directions to go. We know about the one. We've already learned about it. And the Grace, if we watch it, right, it's pushing us along here, pushing along here. So we know there's another checkpoint somewhere for us to go along here. And we know east, she says, the heart of the Scarlet Rot. And I mean, looking at the map, if you look, it all sinks down into that middle area. Let's take a look at it. Huh. You can see some ruins up ahead. That's a flower. A red rotted flower. That makes sense because we know they take on aspects of their environment. Actually, look at that thing. So that is like an actual plant. As opposed to much of the other things, which are just these like fungally growths on dead trees and the environment. Those are actually like, those are living, growing, plant-looking things. Huh. A hardened bud yet to bloom. There's a couple items that I kind of think of when she says that with, in our ingredients crafting list. Crystal bud. Rhymed crystal bud. So young plant crystallized before it could mature. A young plant frozen into a crystal before it could mature. So, connections. Random lines that I'm just making. There's a pumpkin head. Look. I don't ever remember seeing him there. Why are they over there? I saw some nobles on the ground too. I have to check that out now. I have to know. Oh, there's a lot of them. Not a noble. Soldiers. Oh, there are nobles. There's also items up there, so it's telling us we could... Oh, is this like another way we could have gone up to get to the castle? Why are they circled around this thing? What's significant about this mound? I don't know why I chose to attack right there. We're going to roll backwards, and then we're going to do one of these, because the Flame of the Red Manes is so helpful to get rid of big groups of guys. I'm a really big fan, and it used to be like really strong. It used to do huge amounts of poise damage. Like, I mean, I'm talking, you'd be fighting a boss, you know, like the Crucible Knight or something, you know, a like kind of mini boss, right? Not quite like a Godric guy, but even them, you do a couple Flame of the Red Manes on them, and the stagger you could do to them was huge. Two uses of the flame would stagger so many of the bosses. It was crazy. It was too strong. Way too strong. And the range is huge as well. Why are you around this mound? What is here? Uh-huh. Oh, there's some regular flowers. There's still a... Why can't I pick it up? Oh, there it goes. A Mikla's lily. Is that why? Or is there something else that was maybe under there? Oh, there's a dude in a chair. Those are typically smithing stones. Yeah, somber smithing stone. Look right there. There's one of those tree candle lit things. A spirit will come through and guide them somewhere. They guide them to points of interest. A lot of times it's a kind of catacomb thing. We're not going to click on it right away. Look at that water. You know that's bad. It's nasty looking. It's got geysers going on. There's some butterflies. Now the butterflies typically have aspects of the environment they're in as well. Aeonian butterfly. We've gotten them before. We got them underground in that huge open rot looking space. And it said it was tied to the Aeonian swamp. Which, what else did it say about it? Scarlet wings found in the swamp of Aeonia. According to myth, these butterflies were once the wings of a goddess of rot herself, which we can assume there's a swordsman, blind swordsman, was a flowing sword who sealed the god of rot away. 2 stone sword keys. Let's get in there. This is a pretty interesting dungeon. I like it, and it's one that's I feel like it's kind of easy to miss, right? Because it's kind of tucked in here. And look at, like, see how the map looked? Like, these look like rents, like big scars and wounds, which in a way is reminiscent of Castle Stormvale, where it's all, like, marred and wounded looking. But a jail cave. So, a cave that's a jail. All right, we got some rats. Surprise. Right above us, we see that there are, in fact, little cages for prisoners. Now, I know, like, anytime we've been finding, like, prisoners things, like, rats are pretty common to find around them, which is interesting. All right, that door is closed. You probably can't open it. Nope, no way to open it. No interactions. So we got to go through here. And it's a hole. Of course it is. Look, there's bodies. It's those nasty zombie things. And we can hear them making those sounds. They're all imprisoned. Now, I wonder, did they get sealed in there like that? Or were they sealed away? Were they, regular prisoner people? And then they became like that. Like, I'm kind of curious because any other time we've seen these things, you know, they're being like burnt up and you know, piles of bodies. Like they're just trying to like just burn them, get rid of them. Ah, vulgar militia. Hi. Okay, kind of makes sense that they would be here. It's a job that nobody would probably want, right? Sitting in this jail cell. It's sealed up. I'm leaning towards the idea that those, you know, things were regular prisoners before. Before they got turned into whatever they are now. Something happened to them. Hi, guy. All right, a bunch more of them over there. Guarding a door, big door. I don't know why you guys took your time doing the freaking smoke bombs, because it didn't hurt me. Oh, yeah, I saw the big one. I see you. You know what I can do, though? Flame of the Red Maidens. Yeah. Good pick. It works out well for us. Look what the rat drops again. Rune Arc, because maybe they're just collecting enough fragments to make that. I don't know. Hey, guys. I see you there. Look how he's got the glowing eyes. So when their eyes are glowing that golden, that's when they give you more runes. So, an interesting thing, right? Is a connection my brother made. I want to throw it out there, right? Whenever you see, like, runes and skulls, you see them in the eyes. Whenever the enemies are, you know, glowing with those eyes, like they have additional runes, like runes settle in the eyes for some reason. Eyes are significant. There's a bunch of body parts that seem to show significance, you know, like fingers. But then you've got your, you know, scar seals. Those are eyes. And what are on them, great runes or an Elden rune are engraved on it. Now, there's something else that deals with eyes as well, and that has to do with the frenzied flame thing and the maddening three fingers. Because what happens is their eyeballs burst. Now, are they making the eyes burst because that's where the runes settle? Right? Like, it seems like too much of a good connection, right? So, you know, my brother made that connection. Like, maybe that's why the eyes burst, is because it's destroying the runes. And some of the, like, dialogue when talking about the flame stuff talks about burning things away. One of the ghost things, it was like, you know, incinerate like all that divides or something along those lines. So I don't know, but the doors are all open now. We're back at the beginning. Where does this take us? This is the way we had to go because this door was closed. So now we could just walk straight down here. Old Fangs. A pillory shield. This is something I never get, but every now and then, right? Pillory made to punish serious felons, used as a shield. Though made of wood, good sturdy wood, it is only a makeshift tool and performs as such, perhaps due to its use as a device with which the guilty were made to endure prolonged suffering. It raises vitality. So yeah, there it is, a vitality stat, which increases our resistance to death. Yeah, your resistance to death. So interesting, right? How much does it increase it? 50. I mean, that's a pretty solid amount. The guy dropped a melted mushroom, which, I mean, he's on fire, so that's not surprising in a way. But, like, I'm pretty sure it says it grows in the false night in and around the eternal city. Drips with a viscous fluid that behaves much like oil. So do they have ties in there? Or is it just like they thought, you know, they're on fire, the mushrooms should be melted, they're not just regular mushrooms anymore? Oh, wakizashi. Very cool. There is actually something interesting to get from there, so we will take a look at it. Short sword with a tempering pattern on the blade, a weapon unique to warriors of the land of reeds. Afflicts target with blood loss. These swords are considered auxiliary weapons, yet one man is known to wield this weapon in his left hand while using a full-sized katana in his right, a demonic swordsman known only as Okina. It's a bunch of dead militiamen here. I did not kill them. Their bodies actually have ragdoll effects, so... I wonder if maybe they were actually, like, you know, were enemies placed here, and maybe some of those other prisoners, when I let them out, they exploded and killed them? Or did something else kill them? Secret path. Take it down. Take it down. I almost dropped myself like way all the way down as I was doing those buffs. That probably killed me. Frenzied Duelist. We fought guys like that before, but he was a like a crypt warden or something, or grave warden, found in one of the catacombs. So maybe this one got imprisoned because he was frenzied. Similar look, same weapon, nothing really different about him right now. I don't even see any like evidence of him really being frenzied right now. Or, oh, is it frenzied for like the Flame of Frenzy? But again, it like, I mean, I've done this fight before. He doesn't do any like madness stuff, but we do get Putrid Corpse Ash, which doesn't have a lot to tell us necessarily, but it does tell us a little bit. Used to summon the spirit of 4 putrid corpses. These spirits appear some distance from the summoner. Though their movements are dull and confused, their low moans make them effective at drawing the attention of enemies. True death does not come easily to them, or for them, which makes sense because even some that are like seemingly burned to get rid of them don't die. They continue to burn and then they explode whenever they like seem to contain it or something, right? Or will it? I don't know. So what's interesting to me is the name, not like putrid zombie or putrid one living in death. Like, they're not those who live in death. Those guys are pretty much like skeletons, it seems like. They're also not like the nobles who are like undead, you know, those who just don't die. These are putrid corpses. It's like the bodies, it's like a body that's being moved around, but not necessarily like, I don't know. It seems like a subtle distinction to me anyways. But we're back out in Limgrave, and we find ourselves a sword, Regalia of Ekzykes. And another item, it's probably glowstone. Nice view. We actually saw this way long ago. Now, I mentioned a connection before when we fought that bell-bearing hunter, and I was confused. We didn't have this sword yet. But it's a treasured sword of Ekzykes, a lesser, long-vanished domain. The copper coloration is not to be confused for rust, but is a conduit for its wielder to move it by their will alone. Swords of Ekzykes dance through the skies. So that copper color is a like conduit for them to move it by their will. Now that dude, he was sending that sword flying around us, sending it out from a distance, swinging it, and, you know, like, who is this dude? So he has some kind of ties with this or this long vanished kingdom. Is that like why he's running around doing like hunting? And he's covered in all these thorns, and we know there's something like the briars of thin. There's briars of sin, so maybe there's some tie-in there. Another thing about copper as well, like the primordial crucible, what color does it use? It's a rose gold. It's a red tinged gold, which to me was rose gold. That's the connection I'm making, right? And rose gold, if I remember right, is a blend. It's like an alloy of gold and copper. Who are these guys? There's a rotted dog. That's a nasty looking bug thing. It's got weird patch things on it. It's got a bunch of the arms, long arms, a cone head. The cone head kind of reminds me of the whatchamacallit, the vulgar militiaman. Hear that noise? No, thank you. Come on, dog. Boom. All right, there he is. Let's get a look at him. Oh, look at that. Look at all those like little limbs. Those are actually like people arms. It's not like little insect arms. And even on his face, he's got some coming off. He's got mandibles. Skittering around. He's got nasty looking little like hair growths on the end of him. Oh yeah. Nasty. They're so ew. Look at all the little hands, dude. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Faded Erdleaf flower. They, so there's life around here in the Scarlet Rot, but it's pretty twisted, I would say. You got these big beasts. You got these dogs that are covered in like fungal growths. The bird things, Lifesteal Fist. These insect-looking things now. There's some flowers, which is cool. Yeah. So Lifesteal Fist, and we got the sword thing. An occult affinity. Lifesteal Fist. It demonstrates a mastery of the art of controlling vital energies. A slow controlled punch with energy infused fist renders the foes unconscious and steals their HP. Only effective against foes of human build. The Battle of Aeonia. Radon and Millennia locked in stalemate. Then the Scarlet Rot blooms. Huh. Oh man, look over there. One, a giant skull head, and then some kind of like, I don't know. To me, the way the walls, it's like walls. It's a fortress, city, maybe town. Now the thing about the Caelid and stuff was all this like toxic, scarlet rot stuff and everything, and then these giant skulls. There's a lot of similarities between the scarlet rot, millennia, these giant bodies and stuff, and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. It's a film. It's also a manga thing made by Miyazaki Studio Ghibli. Super cool, very interesting. But there's a bunch of similarities between the two that I find pretty interesting. Hi, dude. Yeah, you're probably hungry because you're in this crazy place. Preserving boluses, poison bone things, alien. Okay, yeah, cool, bud. Not a lot of super interesting things. Sorry. This one's called Astray from the Caelid Highway North. So yeah, Caelid Highway. Following it along, it's pointing us that direction, like almost across the center area. And we can assume this is kind of like the, maybe the Aeonia, because she says it's the heart of the Scarlet Rot, where it bloomed. And that's, that's what the sign said, where Millennia and Radon battled. And then the Scarlet Rot bloomed. So this could be like the epicenter. And so it started spreading out like that. They halted it there with like fire. And maybe like it keeps progressing through the rest of the map. Those are the mushroom people. I kind of want to follow the side, that like Grace spot. But I also want to follow the highway. There's also these ruins. We should check these out. Look how he's like, they're so nasty. I don't like them at all. I don't think anybody likes them, right? Like, why would you like them? Here we go. Bird time. Bird uses flames. Maybe that'll help us out. Mushroom dudes. I bet they don't like fire. Nope, they sure don't. Ooh, the pests glaive. So these guys are called pests. I mean, they're a nasty bug-looking thing, so that's not super surprising. A glaive made from a hard, sharpened shell, wielded by the pests who emerged from the swamp of Aeonia, slightly increases non-physical damage negation. Though men might recognize the keen intellect of the pests evidenced by the spear's uncanny design, it will never be understood by them. So they showed up after the rot bloomed. They came up out of the swamp. So, were they some kind of creature and then the rot like shifted and changed them? They also got a bunch of these like arms. So like, were they like people of some sort and something like it? How about we go down in here? No boss ahead. Yeah, this spot's it's interesting. We go way down. It's like a crypt. See, there's all these like tombs, but they're all overflowed with like mushrooms and rot-looking things. And then look at the little ones. They're still growing. Their little cone head is still small. They don't have actual like back legs. Yeah, go get them, bird. And oh yeah, they go flying at you. Yeah, they're like juveniles. Like they're growing here. Maybe they're growing out of the rot. Look at they're shooting off these like spinneret things, like webbish looking projectiles. There's a mushroom dude. So is a mushroom dude like, they are obviously seem to be aligned because they seem to be, poison and rot seem to go hand in hand. Especially with like our poison mist spell, I think has some words to say about that. So maybe they're kind of like caretaking, foster caring for these little, juveniles. When we look again at the poison mist spell, what does it say? Release the poisonous mist. So it's an incantation of the servants of rot. So like those guys do poison spells. Those who dwell within poison know rot all too well. The death that begets life that comes to all equally. That is to say, it is a cycle of rebirth put into practice. So it's supposed to be death that begets life. And we do see that here, right? Things die. Like when you are afflicted with scarlet rot, it's a strong poison effect that is going to bring you down. Meteoric ore blade. But what's supposed to come out of it is life. And I mean, we kind of see here, there's different growths. There are these plants, like are some like regular-ish looking plants, and some of the plants aren't wiped out. Some things don't die from it. They continue to grow. They're what we might consider misshapen and like monstrous, but at the end of the day, it is still life, right? And the thing about it is, like, we've noticed that things seem to be having a hard time dying in general across the land, right? So is this some kind of like fix for that? Is this like a sort of natural I don't know what you call it, like, you know, a reaction of the world to like fix things from not dying? Like this scarlet rot is the cure to an undying type of thing, and from it is supposed to bring about new life. And there's also another group that seems to have some tie-ins with like death and bringing about like new life, and that would be the ancestral followers, because when you read their like various like charms and talismans, you know, it talks about how even in death there's like buds, and like, you know, in death you can find more like life. Death begets life or something, right? So I think there are some nice tie-ins there. The meteoric blade, though, when we look at that, it is a katana. I like this one, actually. I think it's pretty cool. Which we didn't read about Moonveil. Oops, should have read about that earlier. Let's read Moonveil first. It's not super exciting. Masterpiece of a Celian swordsmith. Okay, cool. Light enwreathes the blade when sheathed, explaining its Moonveil moniker. Transient moonlight. So the Celian thing, a Celian person tying in with Moonlight is interesting, considering it was kind of a Carrion family thing. So, you know, why did they choose that? Who knows? Maybe they just had ties in with it. Maybe it was a coloration thing. Then the meteoric ore blade. Katana forged from meteoric ore to dispatch life forms born of falling stars. Deals magic damage. It is weighty and known to deliver slashes of such ferocity that the impact is said to resemble the crash of a falling meteor. So it's made from meteoric ore to dispatch life forms born of meteors. And what did Radon battle? He stopped the falling stars and meteors. So maybe there were some life forms attached to it, and that's why he had to stop and defeat them. Caelid Highway South. There's a moving thing there. I really don't want to fight this guy. He sucks. It's a dragon, but look how gnarly he is. So the dragons, when we've seen them before, you know, they're typically like a dark gray outside of, say, the crystal magic ones. Same coloration on them, but they're covered in, you know, glintstone, particularly around like the head and the eyes and stuff. But the standard ones are like a dark scales. They seem to have like feathery things, right? And this guy still has remnants of that. You can see it along his wings, but look how they're not really like traditional feathers anymore. And like even along his back, like they are thick tendrils. Like it honestly reminds me of coral. But he's pale. He like his horns and stuff are sprouting like buds, you know? He's got big wounds on him. Like, he just looks pretty bad. Looks pretty bad. I don't think my bird is going to do us any good here. So we're just going to go at it. Decaying Ekzykes, or however you say it. I didn't cast my blood flame. Oh yeah, he's like covered in wounds, man. And what does he do? Like, oh Lord, I'm going to have some troubles hitting this, aren't I? There's a hit. There's a hit. Okay. Oh, he's weak to bleed. That's pretty good. Play it carefully. Play it carefully. These big pummel things. Oh, look how when we hit that. What happens when we hit that mound of goop? It it bleeds almost. Like it had a kind of coloration thing coming off of it. Oh no, stay away from that. I don't want to be rotted. Torrent up. Run, 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 run. Uh-oh. Oh, that's scary. Ah, no, 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 no. Oh, how did that hit so far? It did so much damage. That's why I don't like fighting this dude, man. Oh, come on, hit him. Oh, for the love of God. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I can't even use the shield. The shield isn't going to do me any good here. I don't know why I was even having it out, doing the one-handed. No. Oh. You know, I should just hit other parts of him that aren't the face and be successful there. But no, I want to do the face because I want the stagger and the bigger damage numbers. I am dying to Scarlet Rot, so I have to actually pay attention to my health, even though I'm not taking any hits. Move away, move away, move away. Oh, I'm taking damage. Oh, that sucks. I mean, I'm good on flasks for right now. We need to move fast, though. Move, 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 move. It would have been so amazing if I'd actually hit him. Hit him. Should have gone with a spear, maybe. A little bit further reach up. Still could have gotten the bleed effects and stuff. Shit, man. Oh, I did better hitting enemies with a freaking Morning Star before. It's awful. Circling around just to get away from that edge. Alright, we're gonna do this. Get this re-enhanced. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Missed him. Oh, no, please don't. Please don't. I don't like this at all. This is gonna hurt so much. Stop. Stop it. It's not fair. It's not fair how much range that has. There's no escape from it early. That he is still not staggered is super frustrating. I guess I just haven't done enough like consistent hits onto his face to really build it up enough. Come on, hit it. Break. Oh, please stagger. Hit him with a flame. Boom. They missed him completely, it seems. Moving away, moving away, moving away. He's up on a weird rock. Come on down, buddy. Or you can do that, and we'll just move far this way. Oh, of course that's gonna frickin' hit me. I didn't. Oh, thank goodness. I don't have rot anymore, so that's always a plus. I'm just gonna top off just to be safe. Could you come down here, maybe? All right, moving away again. I don't. Ow! You gotta be kidding me, dude. Come on, get up. Heal. I'm gonna use both of my flasks for this. It sucks a lot. I so dislike this fight. Flame. 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 Oh, come on. There we go. One more hit, please. No! It didn't hit him. Firebot, go! I hate this fight. It's so stupid. Alright, I'm gonna mess you up this time, bud. Let's friggin' go. Maybe. Good hit. Another good hit. Oh, come on. There we are. Oh, I messed that up badly. Oh, he staggered. He staggered that time? What was different about that? And the rest, I can't get the critical hit, but I can just lay into him. Okay, whenever he does that, when he's like breathing forward, you need to run behind him. The range of it that direction is a lot worse, but obviously I didn't make it out of there. So the horse is kind of what you need to do it. Oh, I didn't think he was doing that. Yeah, look at me. Look at me. I'm over here. Move, 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 move. Come on, come on, come on. Yep. There's a good hit. Move, and then another giant hunt. Perfect for taking out these giant enemies, right? Move forward. Yes, I love it. There we are. Come on. Oh, another stagger, dude. Hell yeah. Look at us go. And now we just start laying into him because apparently we can't get on the other side, maybe. Big charge R2. Fuck, I missed. Okay, no big deal. The wall is going to be a problem for us. Move, 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 move. We're going to hit his foot because we can. And he'll still bleed out. Hey, there we go. Took us like 3 tries. Giant Hunt helped a lot, I think. Just getting the big hits on the head and staggering him. We got a Dragon Heart, new Draconic power available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. Hooray for us. And now we can continue. We can get ourselves a map, finally. There's also something over there. We have to get that, but we're getting the map first, and then we'll go back over there. Map of Caelid. Oh. But see, there's still this whole northern thing that we haven't gotten yet. Crackpot, Nomadic Warrior, Rot Bone stuff. We're going to buy that. We're also going to get ourselves a Great Helm. Here's the Champion Pauldron. So this is the stuff that Nefeli is wearing. Pauldron reserved for the Badlands' bravest. Proof that the wearer has slaughtered countless foes. Following the example of their chieftain, Horalu, the brave warriors of the Badlands shun excess adornment. A note of gravity's advantage. Let's try that out. Let's see what it says. Gravitational powers that pulls can bring flying foes low. Oh, good to know. Is there not a site of grace right here? I mean, this points us... see, this points us here. Not over here, but this way. So is it all... It's all pointing us over here, I think. Not necessarily up there. Well, no, but look. This one goes that direction. This one goes here. Interesting. This Grace can't make up its mind. Doesn't know where it wants us to go. Oh, hi. Oh, it's a banished knight. This is pretty far away from Stormvale, though. And there's a body on there. It's a dragon body, which is just like the Church of Dragon Communion. He's still doing the, like, Stormvale Ash of Wars, but see how he did the fire thing? So these guys have tie-ins with dragons somehow, some way. Because they're doing spells from them. The other set of armor, the other helmet, has like a dragon on the head. Yeah, we got the armor though, and look at all these statues. And see, we see these types of statues. I think we see them in Garenk's Bestial Sanctum. So is there a tie-in between beasts and dragons? What does this say? Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook, number 3. All right, so we got some items to look at. We're going to look at the Dragon Communion thing, see what it tells us, and then we're going to look at the cookbook. We've gotten a couple other random things, kind of need to sift through real quick. So standard 1, Dragonfire, Agile's Flame. So transforms into a dragon to spew flames. It's kind of like, I don't know, channels the power of Flying Dragon Agile. The dead gaze at the skies over the lakes of Limgrave, praying that the dragon's flames would burn them to ash. So, like, they didn't want to live anymore. So they were hoping the dragon's fire would be enough to burn them down. I mean, makes sense. The putrid corpses, I mean, they're on fire, but most of them, I say most of them, a lot of them still don't die. So they needed something stronger. There's the glintstone breath. So, oh, look at this, how it says. Those extraordinary individuals who perpetuate Dragon Communion are called the Dragon-Hearted. Smaragd's glintstone breath. Smaragd was a devourer of sorcerers, and over time his body became corrupted by their glintstones. So he's the glintstone dragon we had fought before. So it's interesting that it says corrupted, not like transformed or changed. Like, yeah, it's a twisting of what it used to be. There's a rotten breath. Tells us the same thing as far as a dragon-hearted. But then we get Ekzykes, the Dragon Communion Revenger. did not forget his hatred even as he succumbed to the scarlet rot. So he, right, the Revengers are going, like, they have some tasks. So, like, we found Edgar the Revenger, who is upset at the Misbegotten because they killed Eilina. And so he sought after them, and he went crazed with it. Now, where did we find Ekzykes? He's right over here, right by the cathedral. And so he is probably upset of them, because what do you need for the cathedral? Like, what do you need for the dragon communion? You need their hearts. And so he doesn't like that. So even as he, fell to the scarlet rot, he remembered that. So he hung here and continued trying to, I guess, wipe out anybody who was maybe seeking it out. And look how this Site of Grace is now pushing us on towards Redmane Castle. And then we got the Dragon Claw and the Dragon Maul. Those are standard ones as well. All right, so we're digging through the a bunch of items, right? Because we've gotten different crafting books. The Alberich pot, I don't remember reading this one before. Consumes FP, throw it at enemies. Or sorry, let me start it over. It's a craftable item prepared using a ritual pot, enchanted by sorceries of the cuckoos. Consumes FP, throw it at enemies to impede recovery actions using a flask of tears for a certain duration. The Knights of the Cuckoos do declare, "Behold, thy defiled blood, unlike any humor that flows in our grand realm." So yeah, they're like, it's like they made it in mockery of the Alberich to show them, like, look at you, look how, like, you defiled blood, you're twisted and wrong, right? Because like I said, like, they're artificial life forms, which is why they were probably mistreated and stuff. And how it's just nothing like anything in their realm. So it's interesting that it impedes things using a flask of tears, and the flask of tears has to do with blessings and healing from the Erd tree. Now, is it like that because it's the Alberich pot, and that, like, it's made from their Alberich blood, and that's why it impedes it, or is it because of the enchanted sorceries by the cuckoos? So we've got the Armorer cookbooks, right? Which I haven't really, like, fully read any, like, the description of the cookbooks, but it's a record of crafting techniques left by an armorer who served the great General Radahn. Contains knowledge of dealing with rot, the application of fire in particular. So this is where we're getting fire grease, drawing grease, fireproof livers, firebone arrows, neutralizing boluses, the exalted flesh, immunizing meats, preserving boluses, all those things. The glintstone ones, right, the faux sorceries, we know that. So here's an Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook. It's a record of crafting techniques taught by the capital's Ancient Dragon cult. Details techniques that harness the lightning, the weapon of the ancient dragons. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following: dragon wound grease. So an interesting thing about that, right? We know there is some distinction between the dragons, because, like, when we look in this cathedral, when we look in the other Church of Dragon Communion, there is a big dragon body. But that dragon body is nothing like the dragons we fight, where, if you want to be all super distinct, you could maybe argue those dragons are like wyverns, because they don't have 4 legs. They have the rear legs and their wings as being part of, like, their arms or something like that, right? These have, like, actual true 4, like, limbs, and then presumably wings, though we don't see any wings on this one. And even just by their appearance, it looks a lot more reminiscent of these statues, which have depictions of wings on their back. Now, I don't fully subscribe to, like, the true dragon has to have 4 limbs, like, because there's all different styles of dragons depending on what, like, region and culture you're looking at. But this is very much a sort of, like, Western inspired mythology, so it makes a lot of sense there. But we know that there is, like we said, distinction between those different types of dragons, because there's these ancient dragons. So, like, when we read the gravel stones, we see them on the dragon hearts. Do we have any actual items of gravelstone? Maybe not. But on here, it's received by a dragon tracker, riddled with gravelstone. The grotesque organ continues to beat vivaciously, used to offer it. It's a terrible and savage-looking thing. The heart has a particular beauty to it. So, like, there's some kind of, like, and then, like, this talks about lightning, and none of the dragons we fought so far have any kind of lightning. They have done fire. Now, sometimes it's twisted and corrupted, like with Smaragd, how he said he was corrupted by the sorcerers he ate. So his fire was blue. It was like magic. Ekzykes was, taken by scarlet rot. So he had a rot breath. But none of them do any kind of lightning things, right? They're all pure mutations of fire. Even the magma worm is magma, not, it's still not lightning. So here is a map of Caelid, known as the locale of the last battle between General Radahn and Millennia, the Blade of Mikola, is a vast land consummately marred by scarlet rot. Yep, it tracks. Alright, we need to wrap this up. I have some weird gaps in here, so it's hard for me to tell exactly how long this video has been. But there's Gerank's Bestial Sanctum. There's like a... Look at that. Look at that. Is that... Because we're looking for Fort Feroth, far to the east. So, I mean, there's that. We also saw some walls over there. So maybe that's where we're at, because we're still trying to get the other half of that medallion. Man, those skulls are super cool. Like, who are they? What are they for? From? I mean, it would have to be giants. It's literally a giant skull. So let's run up here. We will find another site of grace, and then see about calling it good. Now, there's a lot of things kind of down around here to check out. There's actually a few interesting kind of dungeony spots and stuff too. Definitely not doing it right now. This is the Southern Aeonian Swamp Bank. So this whole section here, it's got to be the Aeonian Swamp. And actually, look at the outline of it. You know what it looks like? A butterfly. Like the Aeonian butterfly. Like there's the left wings or right wings, whichever way you want to look at it, right? That's it. Thank you guys for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed it. Next one, we're going to keep pushing into there. Maybe can't see if we can find the other half of this medallion, because that's... it's somewhere over here. We're going to get it. Yeah, but until then, take care.